This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the WANDRD Travel Wallet, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So when I first looked up this wallet, there was no materials listed on their PDP, so I reached out to WANDRD and they said that it is P900D tarpaulin. So I think this looks pretty nice. From the distance, it's just going to look like a standard leather billfold. When you get closer, you're going to realize that it's not leather and it is a synthetic material, and it has held up pretty well. I don't think it's going to be as durable as a natural leather is long term, but so far, in putting this thing through some pretty rigorous testing, it has held up pretty nicely. On the bottom here, we have the WANDRD logo and a little their name of their brand there, and I don't love that. It's just on a wallet, I don't know, it just seems a little bit wrong to me. Even if it was just a logo, I wouldn't mind it as much, but I do think this thing looks pretty sleek, and you're not going to notice that from a distance. It's only when you get up close. So I'll give it a pass here, but just don't love that generally speaking. This also does have RFID protection according to WANDRD, so your ID is going to be safe, and all of your money and stuff like that should be safe too. So we have a magnetic closure here, which isn't typical for wallets, at least in my experience, but magnets are kind of popping out everywhere, so it just seems like it was a matter of time before it happened. But it is pretty satisfying to play with. I have this thing pretty like heavily loaded up right now, so it's not as satisfying as when it has less stuff inside of it, but it is nice that it's not going to pop open when you don't want it to. Like if you just drop it like that, oh look at that, I have so much stuff inside of it that it kind of broke what I said was going to happen. But typically, if you don't have this thing completely packed out, it's not going to do that, and that is the point of those being there. So as you pop it open here, you can see you have 2 sliding pockets here for passports. We don't have, don't want to use actual passports in videos so people can steal our identity or anything like that. So we just have passport-sized notebooks, so nice quick access to those. If you don't only have one passport, you can slide one in this and then put something else in the other one. Under these flaps here, we have card storage on this side. So I found that I was able to fit about 3 cards on either side, so 3 cards in that one. And then, as you can see, I'm kind of struggling to get that out of there right now, 3 cards on that one over here. So these aren't super thick cards, but I'd say they're pretty standard sized. So if you have smaller cards, you might be able to fit more. If you have bigger, thicker metal cards, you might not be able to fit as many. So 6 cards is an okay amount, but if you have more cards you need to bring with you, that might not work for you. But if you're only bringing one passport, you could slide them in here or put them somewhere else in the wallet. So there is an empty space over here on this side with no organization. I suppose you could put a passport there, but as you can see, this was completely packed out, so I don't think you're going to fit 3 passports in here. It's just if you wanted to put your passport in a different area. Just feels like a little bit of wasted space to me. I don't know why you couldn't have had some more organized or some more slots there for cards, but I'm not a designer. There probably is a good reason for that. Moving over here, we have a cash pocket, and as you can see, we have no issue with tall currency coming out of this thing. It is a very large wallet, as you can see, so even the tallest currencies are not going to pop out of there. We also haven't had any issues with anything being too long to need to be folded or anything like that. As you can see, all the currency here, no issues at all. Just a bunch of random currency. And as you can see, this is more currency than you'll probably take with you, but you never know when you're going to get a bunch of change and small bills or something like that from a street vendor. But there actually is a hidden cash pocket inside of here as well. There's like a little bit of a lip right here, and if you flip that over, there you go. You could store more cash here, so it's like a little bit hidden, or you could separate your currencies. Like if you're coming from America and going somewhere else, you could put your extra American currency here, and then your standard, or your where you're going's currency over here. And we also have an AirTag pocket right here on this side, so we have a little AirTag stowed inside there right now. Again, I'm not really sure why it's on this side, especially when that's where your cards are, so it makes it a little bit more challenging to get your cards in and out. When there isn't that on this side, it seems like maybe it should be on this side, but again, I'm not a designer, and I do like that there is the ability to put an AirTag in here. So if you're finding this video helpful so far, make sure you throw a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. So when it comes to packability, this thing is pretty big. You've probably already noticed that in dealing or just watching this video so far. Like in my hands, it's pretty beefy. But generally speaking, passport wallets are beefy. I think the main reason that I think that this is so big is because it looks like a regular wallet, but it's just not sized like one. So whenever I grab it, I'm like, this is huge. But if you compare it to other passport wallets, well, ones with zippers and stuff like that, it's actually not very big. But if you are going to try and put this in a pocket or something like that, you're going to have a bad time. Like this doesn't fit really in almost any of the pockets of the pants that I typically wear, either at home or while traveling. Some of my more hiking pants have bigger pockets, and I was able to fit them inside of there, and even some slings. Like I went to a Detroit City FC soccer match this weekend, and I typically take a sling with all my stuff in it, and I was testing this, so I brought it, and it wouldn't fit in there, so I had to bring a different sling because it was a smaller Moment sling, so it just wouldn't fit in there with the other stuff that I was bringing. So the actual measurements are 5.38 by 4.25 by 0.38 inches, which is 13.7 by 10.8 by 0.97 centimeters. So it is going to be too big for some places, but it's going to fit in most moderately sized slings, day packs, and travel backpacks. So a wallet that does a lot of the same things is the WANDRD Travel Wallet. As you can see, they're very kind of similar designs. And when you actually measure their area, the WANDRD is a tiny bit smaller, but it's like minimalistically smaller. So if you're going off size, I don't think there's a huge reason to pick one or the other. It's going to come down to features. So this one, in typical WANDRD fashion, is genuine leather. There's a lot, as I said, there's a lot of similarities between these. They both have a hidden cash pocket. So as you can see here, the WANDRD has one like that. You saw that on the WANDRD already. You have space for 2 passports inside this wallet. That's just going to be in different places in the wallet. Like obviously you have the main one, and there are a few different places you could put the other one. Just depends on how you want to use the wallet. But then there are differences as well. Obviously this one comes with a pen. We've got the magnetic closure over here. Something else they both have that I forgot to mention is they both have RFID protection. So your financial and identification information should be safe. But then again, we also have the space for the AirTag in this one here. I still have the AirTag inside here over here. So if that matters to you, that's something to consider the WANDRD for. We don't have that over here with the WANDRD, but you have to consider that both of these are pretty large. So this one is a bit more structured. So when you do fit it into your pocket, it's going to be just like a little bit bulkier, whereas this one, when you put a passport in here, obviously it's not going to move around as much, but because it is that genuine leather, it has a little bit more give to it. And we have the logo there on the bottom, but it's just a little bit more minimalistic. I really do like the look of the WANDRD more than I do the WANDRD. I am curious if we do, wear this in a little bit more, it might look a bit better, but overall I am giving the edge to the WANDRD just a little bit for my personal use. So there you have it, the WANDRD Travel Wallet. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.